So today we're going to work a little bit on combining some of these notes that we've been talking about to create rhythms. So we're going to start with the longest note that we know, which is a whole note. Now you're like, you hadn't talked about whole notes yet, Miss McKeithen, but we did if you watched the music show a couple weeks ago on your module. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. A whole note is super duper easy. It looks like a whole. It goes up here. If you have a piece of paper, if you could write that down for me, if you need to pause the video, that's fine. That's a whole note. A whole note gets 4 beats. So I'm going to put 4 right here, and that's the longest note that we know. Breaking it down from there, we're going to split our whole note in half. Hiya, to get to a half note. Half notes look just like a whole note except for it has a stick on the side. We call that stick a stem, okay? So a stem, that is 2 beats. So how many half notes would I need to make it equal 4? 2, because 2 plus 2 equals 4. So I'm going to take and put down here another thing with a half note and put 2 beats, okay? So what note do we break down from there? A quarter note, because we're going to break that half note in half and get a quarter. Okay, so I'm going to fill my circle in, put a stick on the side. It looks just like the half note, but it's got a full belly, as I like to say, and that's going to equal 1. Now, how many quarter notes would it take to put in that whole note? 4, because 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so I'm going to draw 4 quarter notes. If you'll draw 4 quarter notes with me. Oops. And those all equal 1. We could also use quarter rest. Okay, I'm going to put the rest underneath of here. It's the same thing. It's just a silent beat. Okay, so we have whole notes at the top, half notes come down below, and then quarter notes below that. Then below that, what's the shortest note that we know? Eighth notes. Okay, so this is going to take me a second to draw. Okay, I'm going to move my paper up so I can get to it. Ready, set, here we go. All right, so eighth notes, one little eighth note right by itself actually gets a half of a beat, but we don't really think of it that way right now because we're just putting those two together. That's why I've got 2 eighth notes and they go up to the quarter note. So here's our note tree. All right, from the top we have whole note, we break into half notes, we break into quarter notes, and then we break into eighth notes. We're going to clap these rhythms. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start from the top. We're going to clap this whole note, and then we're going to clap these half notes, then we're going to clap these quarter notes, and then we're going to clap the eighth notes. Are you ready? Here we go from the beginning. 1, 2, here you go. Ta, 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 toddy, 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 toddy. Very good. Let's do it again. One more time. 1, 2, here you go. Ta, 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 toddy, 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 toddy. Can we do it backwards? Can we start from the toddies and go all the way up to the top of the tree? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Toddy, 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 ta, 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 ta. Fantastic job, fantastic job. Okay, so I'm going to move my paper up to this next little page, and we are going to talk a little bit how we can combine those notes to create rhythms. So if you remember from a couple weeks ago, we talked about parts of the staff, we talked about treble clef, and we talked about time signatures. And time signature is what I need you to remember today. Remember that a time signature tells you how many beats are going to be in a measure. So on your piece of paper, if you will write the time signature 4/4. That top number tells us we have 4 beats in each measure. So we just talked about how many beats each one of those notes get, so this should be easy peasy. Starting with our whole note, if I put a whole note up there, how many beats does our whole note get? It gets 4. We just talked about that. So, can I fit any more beats in that measure? No, it's completely full. It's like you on Thanksgiving when your stomach's all full. Oh. All right, we can't fit any more turkey in our bellies. Okay, so we need to put a bar line. All right, our bar line separates our music into equal parts. So if there's 4 on this side, there's got to be 4 on this side. Let's use those half notes. So how many beats does a half note get? A half note gets 2 beats. So I'm going to have 2 numbers, 1, 2. Okay, so is that full? No, it's still hungry. It can fit more in its belly, so we got to put some more notes in there. We can put another half note, and a half note plus a half note. All right, 2 beats, 2 beats. That is full. We can put our bar line. All right, let's do another one. This time, let's use some quarter notes. So we have 1 quarter note. Is it full? No, it's still really hungry. We have 3 more beats we got to put in there. So we're going to put another quarter note. And another quarter note. And 1 more quarter note. Now we have 4 beats. All right, so what would I put after that? A bar line. Okay. So let's look at this rhythm. It's exactly what you just clapped a minute ago. Ta, 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 ta. But we just wrote it in rhythm form. That's all it was. Okay, now, that's still not combining these notes. Let's do some combinations. This time, I'm going to start with a quarter note. All right, we already decided that quarter notes get 1 beat. So what's another note I can put in there to help fill up that measure? I could put a half note. All right, so that gets 2 beats. I gotta have 2 numbers, 2, 3, and then I have to have 1 more beat. Now I can do a quarter note, I can do a quarter rest, or I can do a pair of eighth notes. I'm gonna do a quarter rest just to make it a little bit different. And that's beat 4. And just because it's a rest does not mean it doesn't get a beat. It still gets a beat. It's still important, but it's just a silent beat. So if I were to clap that rhythm, it would sound like this. Ta, ta, sh. Try it with me. Ready, and ta, ta, sh. Good. All right, let's look at the next one. What can I put? Let's start with a pair of eighth notes. Now that's going to be beat 1, because remember that a pair of eighth notes gets 1 beat. Okay, so and then I can put something else. Let's see, I think I'm going to put another quarter note. That would be beat 2. I still have 2 more beats to go, so I'm going to put a half note, and then I have my 3, 4. And then I put a what? A bar line. All right, guys. Let's try clapping that. 1, 2, from here we go. Ta-dee, ta, ta. Woo! These half notes are making it a little trickier, isn't it? All right, let's try it again. Ready, and ta-dee, ta, ta. Fantastic. Let's do the entire thing from the beginning, starting from here. 1, 2, ready, and ta, ta, sh, ta-dee, ta, ta. Excellent. All right, we're going to do one more rhythm. Let's start with a quarter rest. That's our beat 1. Then we're going to do a pair of eighth notes. Then maybe another quarter note and a quarter rest. Then I put my bar line because I got 4 beats. Let's try this rhythm. 1, 2, ready, and sh, ta-dee, ta, sh. One more time. Here you go. Sh, ta-dee, ta, sh. Good. All right, so I've got my rhythm. I'm completely done. I don't want any more. So what do I need at the end of my song? A double bar line. All right. So this week we are not going to be creating our own rhythms, but you will be next week. I want to give you one more week of practicing with these time signatures because I want a fantastic rhythm for next week. Okay. So this week, what you're going to do for your assignment is you are going to add up some notes and put them in my little turkey belly. Okay. So you're going to add up the notes that we just talked about and you're going to see how many beats each one gets and put it in the belly of the turkey. It's super duper easy. You can either write your answers on a separate piece of paper, you can type your answers in, you can take a picture, you can write directly on the screen, whatever is easiest for you. What I don't want is a video recording, so no video recordings this week. All right, I only want either a piece of paper or a written response. All right, guys, so that is all for rhythms today.